Hello everyone. In this session we are going to discuss about the Hdfs API. In the previous sessions we have discussed about the Hdfs interface, that is the Hdfs shell, and Hadoop shell also we have discussed, and web interface is also available that we have not touched till now. In the next session, as the part of the practical session, I will cover the web interface also. Now we are going to deal with the Hdfs API, meaning that writing the program in Java, and we can use some API to read the data and to write the data. So how we can do that we will discuss. Previously we have done that big data, Hdfs architecture, Hdfs commands. Now we are going to deal with execution of the program on Hdfs or Hadoop environment, and the next topic is we will go with the API for the Hdfs. Here we are in the first step, we will go with the regular Java program on Hdfs or Hadoop environment. In the second step, we will use the API for the Hdfs on the same program, and then we will discuss some basic programs, how can we do that. So execution of a Java program in general, it will be by using the javac and Java. So by using those commands we can compile and execute the Java programs. But here it is little different. That is, first we have to write the Java program by using .java extension, and then we have to compile the Java program by using javac. Then we have to create the jar file. Here we have to change. We have to create the jar file and then execute the jar file on the Hadoop environment. So because we have to execute on the Hadoop in complete cluster, we are not going to execute the program on the single machine. If you want to execute on the single machine, you can go for simply Java, but here we are going with the Hadoop cluster. So how to write the Java program? Already you have seen that you know how to write the Java program. We have to take the Java extension is Java, and then public class sample and public static void main of string s and system.out.println. I'm just giving a small example, hello world program. And this how can we execute? That is by compiling. Here we can compile that by using the javac, and you can give the file name. I am giving that with the full path. I am giving the full path of the file, and then after compilation you will get the .class file, sample.class file, and then the next step is we have to create the jar file. So that for that we have to use the jar command, jar cvf. These are the options, create verbose and file. We are mentioning the file. So see here we are mentioning the file, that is the sample.jar we have to create, and we have to add the class files, whatever the class files available or jar files available, we can add them as the package. We can create a complete package by creating the jar file. So we are creating a jar file here. So how can we give that? Jar cvf, and then we have to give the file name of jar, and then we can provide the sample.class. Here whatever I am giving the program name, the same thing I am using. So the sample.jar, and sample.class has to be added. If you want to add any other additional jar files, you can include them here, separating with the spaces. So after completion of that, you will get a prompt only, and then you can find that where you have created the jar file. There actually here I have given with the desktop. On desktop I am creating. On the desktop you will get the sample.jar. So if you get that, your process is completed successfully. Now we have to execute the program on the Hdfs environment. So you have to execute the program on the Hdfs environment, that is on the Hadoop environment. So we have the Hadoop script. In the previous session we have discussed about the Hdfs script, Hdfs dfs-ls, like that. In the similar way we can use the Hadoop fs-ls, Hadoop fs- put, Hadoop fs-get, you can use in that way. In the similar way, Hadoop script is having the jar file, jar as the command. Hadoop jar, you have to provide the jar file, and then you have to provide which class is having the main method in this jar file. So that you have to mention clearly. Then your program will be executed. See here, I have given just displaying of a name, my name. So Rama has been displayed. That is my program. It was executed successfully. Now we have to go for the API. Now I want to add API to this program. How can I add that? First of all, we have to understand what is the API and what are the APIs available for the Hadoop environment. That is, we have several APIs available, application programming interface. In that, we are having the org.apache.hadoop is one of the interface. Hadoop, it is the library available. In that, we have the modules, different modules. org.apache.hadoop.conf is one class, and org.apache.hadoop.fs, it is also another module. And inside the conf package, we have the configuration a class, and in the fs we have number of classes defined, that is block location, fs data input stream, fs data output stream, path, file system, and all these are the various classes and packages available. So generally we are using these file system. We have to go for the file system. The file system will provide you to set up the file environment, and path will be given for the path can be used to create a path for the existing file, and fs data output stream, if you want to write the data onto the existing HDFS file, we can use the fs data output stream. If you want to read the data from the HDFS file, we have to go for the fs data input stream. Block location, if you want to get the block locations, you can use that. Like this, there are number of classes available in this. And now we have to understand how it is working. How can we use this? Already we have the HDFS cluster and we have the client mission. In the client mission, we have the HDFS file system interface, so that in the client mission, what we have to do is we have to write one program. In that program, we have to create the configuration object. That object will communicate with the HDFS file system interface. It will take the file system configuration, actually what is the configuration, into our program, and then we have the file system object. It creates an object to interact with the file, a particular file system, complete file system inside the HDFS, and then on top of that, if you want to write the data onto the HDFS, we can use the fs data output stream, or if you want to read the data on top of the file system object, we can read the data by using fs data input stream, and so many other classes can be also used. Now we have the conf package, org.apache.hadoop.conf. In that, Hadoop, it is the Hadoop configuration file, and files and interfaces are available, configurations, and we have the configuration class and a configured class and some other classes also available. Now configuration class is having a constructor. Actually it is providing the environment to access the configuration parameters. Like we have the XML files, we have the several properties and properties of the HDFS or Hadoop. In the XML files, we can load those configurations into our program by using these parameters. So the constructor is simply we can create the empty configuration also. It will take the default configuration. Anyway, we are connecting to the file system interface, so that will be taken by default. If you have specific configurations, different configurations in your mission, you can set this configuration by providing the resources. So configuration, to create the object, configuration conf equal to new configuration, and there are several methods available. Some of the methods are add resource, and then reload configuration, get, set. All these are the various methods which are available for the configuration. Generally we can use the add resource to add the additional properties to your program configuration. I mean the Hadoop configuration in your program that can be added, add resources. Now this is the example for that resources. So how can we take the resources? We can give that, we can add a resource from the Hadoop configuration files. They are in the XML as I mentioned. So see here, we can give that conf.add resource. We can add the resource of new path. We have to provide the clear path. We have to provide the clear path, that is user, in general it is in the directory of user local, in the root directory user local Hadoop and version of your configuration, your software, and then core site.xml. Here the core site.xml is the basic file for the configuration, and in the latest versions I think it is in the shared folder, will be also the share folder. In the Hadoop there is the share folder, inside the share again there is the Hadoop, inside that there is the common. It's like that there may be some change in the configuration. In the practical session I will provide you full information about this. And then FS package. The FS package, it is for the file system operations. So see here, it is having so many classes: file system, file status, FS data input stream, FF data output stream, local file system. If you want to access the local files, you can have the local file system, path, and then block location, and there are so many other classes available. We are taking the FS only, and then we can go for the FS and the file data input stream, file data FS data output stream. We'll use them. So, and then the file system, it is having the constructor also. Directly we are going with the file system. If you want to interact with the file system in the HDFS, we have to create one file system object, as I have shown that in the picture. The methods generally are available: get, create, delete, exist, close, close all, append, copy from local, copy to local, get block size, mkdir, and then remove. All these are the various files, various commands, methods available, which represent some of the basic commands of the file system. And get command. The get command, it is used to get the configuration of the object, and that will be connected to the file system. So see here, we are creating the file system object fs equal to file system.get of configuration. Already we created the configuration object. The configuration will be, this file system object will be connected to the created configuration, and then we can retrieve the data from that. And file system, in the file system, copy from local and copy to local. These these commands can be used for copy the data from the local file system into HDFS. It is like the HDFS DFS hyphen put, HDFS DFS hyphen copy from local, and the FS, this is the simple syntax for that. And then copy to local. Copy to local is also similar. It is to download, that is by using the get command, and then we can go with that. This is a simple example: fs.copy to local file of source and destination. And we have to discuss about the program, that we can continue in the next session.